Hi guys, we're back with the World Builder game. This video is following on from the video that we did generating hexes. In the video we generated this hex. I've gone ahead and generated the other two hexes to complete the startup that we're doing. The other two hexes I've generated is called the Borrowed Grasslands and Forests of Gold, and this one's got a +2 reward bonus shown there, which we've recorded on here. I've then gone and pre-generated those first two quests, and I wanted to show you this one because it's got this reward bonus of +2. So because these are starting quests, because these are quests 1, 2 and 3, there's two options. You can either roll 1d10 on table Q, World Builder Q for quests, or we can go ahead and roll the D100. So I recommend, because if you're starting a brand new fresh adventurer like we have in this instance, that we would roll the 1d10. If you're creating quite a seasoned adventurer, then what I would recommend is you use the D100, so you get some more challenging quests. Okay, so for this we're going to generate in the quest number 3, the Forest of Gold. We're going to generate that in here. So what you do is we're going to roll the d10, and I've rolled 10. You look up the result on this table here. I think I've got it in view. Yep, 10, and it says spellbook. Okay, and you're going to need to write the number of the quest that you rolled for referencing later if there's any confusion. So we rolled a 10, so we write number 10 in the box under number, and then we fill in the details. And we've got to fill in all the bold details from this from the table for the result that we rolled. So it says spellbook, collect 1d3 spells, add to backpack. So you don't add these spells in your spellbook, you add them to your backpack, and they can be from any spell table. So if you're unaware, in the Lost Tome of Extraordinary Rules there was new spell tables introduced, so it's covering those spells as well. And then it's got hand in, so if it says hand in on any of these quests, if it says hand in, that tells us that the adventurer doesn't keep those but has to hand them back to the quest giver. So in that instance we would add the spells to our spell book, and then if we complete the quest to gain the reward, we would hand in those, we would remove them from the adventure sheet. Okay, so we're going to write that down here. So we write this, only the bold, so it's called spellbook. Okay, and it says collect 1d3 spells. So this is where we're going to roll the d3. So we roll this, and we've rolled a 3. So for this particular spell, for this quest, we need to collect 3 spells. So we put 3 in, and so you'll notice that these random rolls, there's lots of them throughout the book telling you to loot a random number of items or kill a random number of monsters. That's determined when you're writing down the quest on the quest builder sheet. You don't do it each time you attempt the quest. Okay, so, and it's got add to backpack, so I'm just going to put backpack as a reference that I've got added to my backpack, and then from any spell table, and then I'll add hand in brackets. Okay, and it's also got a reference to a person. Most of the quests throughout the book will say a person in brackets, and so what you do is when it says that, you look on table N and you roll the D100, and I'm gonna try and roll low to actually show you the way we're generating things. So let's say I rolled 28. I think that might include, right, 28, a warlock. So you look on names, person, because it's a person we're generating, and it says Warlock. So it's a Warlock that's given us this quest, so we'll add that. And we need to add, under this PC column, we need to add his reward value. Now some of them don't have a reward value, in which case you would just put a line for it, put nothing. In this instance we've rolled one that has, so we put +1. We also should have, from table Q, which we rolled 10, we should also add in the quest reward value. So it's got a 0 there, so we need to add 0 there. And now there's the H reward value, which is for hex reward value, and that's why I chose the Forest of Gold, because it's got a +2. So lastly we write +2 in there for the hex, and then you add them up. So if there was a quest reward, you would add that as well. So it's 1 + 2 is 3. So you write that in 3 there. And then lastly, the last thing we do is we find the quest reward table and we roll for the success, fail and encounter modifier. And so you find your reward value of 3, which is here, and we roll 1d6. Let's see what we get. And depending on how high you roll will depend on how much of a reward you're going to get and how high your fail cost is going to be. The encounter modifier is set to -15. So we've rolled a 1, so we've got plus 250 gold, so we write that in, plus 250 gold pieces. We lose half of our gold if we fail, and encounter modifier is -15. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up how we generated the quest. What this would mean is when we want to attempt this quest, our adventurer would need to travel to this zone here, and then we would then start take an action to actually begin performing the actual quest. The adventurer would need to be in this position, and then we could attempt to complete the quest. Once we've taken the quest action, then we begin playing D100 in its normal traditional way, playing the quest, mapping it however we want with the mapping game or with dungeon sheets and so forth. And then if we completed the quest, we would then tick this box here to say we've completed it. If we failed it, we don't put a cross in them anymore in the World Builder quest sheet. It would just stay open, ready to be attempted again. We would suffer the fail cost. If we complete the quest, we get the reward value, tick it, and then we could no longer complete that quest. That would be finished with. Okay, so you can see it's quite straightforward in generating the quest. It's make a roll, record, put the quest details in for the reward value. Then if the person that you've rolled for has got a reward bonus, we put it in there. If the hex we're in's got a bonus, we put it in there. We add them all up, then we look it up on the quest reward table. If it's between 0 or less or 11 or more, we look it up, and then we roll a d6 and then just record it there, and that's then generating your random quests. So by completing this stage of the starting quest sheet, that has pretty much completed the setup for your game. You're now ready to actually begin playing the game by taking actions, and there's various actions that you can perform, and you're pretty much free to roam and do what you want just by spending these actions. Each action you spend, you'll be checking them off on your calendar, and each day that you check off, we'll go into a video about how the calendar works next, but each day that you check off on the calendar will mean certain things will happen, and certain key elements of the calendar will point you towards certain things that you're going to have to do as well. So going back just to this section here, because we began with a new adventurer, we roll for those quests. when you're out and about adventuring and you come across a quest, say in this area here, to generate it you would actually roll a number of times equal to your rep on this table, and then you would choose one from those that you actually would like to perform. So if you didn't want to do 22 but you'd rolled 6 and thought that was a better quest to do, you would then record those details for your chosen quest based on your rolls, which is equal to your reps. So if you had a rep of 4, you could roll 4 times on this table, and then you would choose one of those quests and add it to the back of the sheet, and then start generating it as well. So I hope that explains the quest. We're now ready to begin actually taking some actions, and so we're going to carry on from there in the next video, which will be all about the calendar and spending actions. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time.